welcome to the breakdown recorded June 25th, 2020. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world that you may not have heard about. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below. There you can find a link to each story I talk about, so you can come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you find some news you didn't know about. Now I am doing a little change of the studio, so test out the look over there. Wasn't really happy with it. I've ordered some cool backdrop material here. Hang in here with me as it comes in next week as we kind of continue to hang up the sound paneling and figure out the best way to get the studio set up here for future shows. So hang in here with me, but I hope you enjoy this kind of slightly new look as we prepare for the new revamped studio. All right, let's get into it. Starting off with some bad news for Costco fans. If you're a Costco fan, you probably have seen their huge sheet cakes. I absolutely love them. We've got them for many birthday parties, baptisms, all kinds of events. We've got these cakes for. Well, Costco says with large gatherings becoming less common and fewer orders for them, they have canceled their sheet cakes. Yep, for now, you cannot get sheet cakes from Costco. And a Costco spokesperson told the news that they don't have immediate plans to bring the sheet cakes back. Instead, they're going to do smaller cakes that are designed to feed up to 10 people. So if you're having a big birthday party, you wanted one of those sheet cakes, or if you just wanted a sheet cake, unfortunately, you're out of luck for now. Costco is discontinuing them with no plans to return them anytime soon. All right, 2020 is a political year. If you've been living on a rock and haven't noticed, it has been a very aggressive, we'll call it, maybe that's the word I'm looking for, ad year. Well, Facebook and Instagram have heard you, and in the next couple weeks, they're going to be rolling out the ability to block ads that are political in nature on your Instagram and Facebook accounts. Now, for now, this isn't here. They say this option will appear in your settings in the next few weeks. And we'll keep an eye on it. And when it's live, we'll try to mention it because I am probably like millions of Americans out there already sick of the political ads, ready to move on. So good news is if you don't want to see these ads, they will be having an option to block them very soon in your Instagram and Facebook settings. All right, in the UK, the lockdown continues to affect pubs that are closed. And you probably started to wonder, what are they doing with all these kegs of beer out there? Well, Guinness has been taking these kegs of beer from pubs that are closed due to the lockdown, and they're going to be using them to fertilize Christmas trees in Dublin. So if you are somebody who owns, I guess, a bar and is looking for something to do with your beer, maybe see if it could be used for fertilizer. Because in the UK, in Dublin at least, they're doing just that with Guinness beer. I guess it's better than just throwing it away. But still, it's kind of a shame to see all that. Hopefully the bars are getting some credit or something to handle the cost of all the lost inventory they're dealing with right now. All right, good news for sports fans. Major League Baseball has announced and confirmed, we reported this as speculation earlier on my Twitter account. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, link in the show notes down below, that a 60-game 2020 season will be happening. Players will report July 1st, with opening day being July 23rd or 24th at the time I saw the story from CBS Sports. That may have been confirmed by now, but I didn't see it. So good news for sports fans. I'm not the biggest baseball fan in the world, but it is nice to see it coming back. It feels like we're getting back to some type of normal. Of course, though, it will be a different type of season. I'm not sure what the final ruling of fans will be by the end of the year, but you'll at least be able to watch them on TV and have some type of sports out there. So great news there. Very excited to see sports coming back. Hopefully football and others will continue to be able to come back as we move forward back to something closer to normal. All right, we talked about this in the past, but there is a massive surge of people leaving large cities like New York for smaller towns to get away from mass transit, these areas which kind of became virus hotspots. And because of this, it's actually driving up the price of homes in these smaller towns. As families flee, prices are skyrocketing in smaller towns. According to some reports, realtors are showing homes virtually through like FaceTime and getting full price offers as a rush of people moving in smaller towns are outpacing the demand for homes. On the flip side, this could be detrimental to New York housing prices. As a lot of people leave New York, they may just be dumping homes on the market at low prices in an effort to get rid of them. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out as we go forward. But it's definitely, this whole virus has not just changed the way we look at hand washing and face masks, but may have changed where people want to live. As for years we saw people move to the suburbs in the 50s, 60s, etc. And then in the 90s especially and on, start to move back into major cities like New York. And now we're seeing a return to the desire to get into the suburbs, to get into the smaller cities, to get a little bit away from your neighbors. I don't know, let me know, has this changed your opinions at all on where you want to live, how you want to live, anything like that? Let me know. All right, bad news for anybody with asthma. There is a massive dust storm happening over the central, southern, Midwest, East Coast part of the United States. A Sierra, I hope I'm saying that right. Dust has flown over the Atlantic, come into Texas, kind of swirled its way up through a good chunk of the United States. When I lived in Texas, this was something I didn't really think about or know about much of, but I guess it happens pretty regularly in Texas as dust blows off into the Gulf of Mexico and up into those southern area states. This one, though, was big enough to continue into other parts. So keep an eye out there. If you have asthma or other things, take precautions. But it's kind of cool to think that, you know, dust all the ways from Africa can come that far across the Atlantic and make it. So I always thought that was kind of cool right there. All right. Do you drink bottled water because you think it is safer? Well, a new study is out from Consumer Reports that reports that dozens of brands made by Whole Foods and sold on Amazon and others have levels of arsenic in it, according to Consumer Reports. And they don't say just some, because pretty much all water has some contaminants in it, like arsenic. But there's a certain level of it which is considered safe. And according to this report from Consumer Report, these brands have high levels of arsenic in them. So you may want to check out that report in the show notes down below. Maybe have it affect your purchasing decisions going forward. And let me know, do you drink mostly bottled water or are you fine with tap water? I know people who refuse to use bottled water, and I know people who only want to drink bottled water. So where do you fall on that scale? Let me know. All right, the FCC will vote in July to create a new 3-digit 988 number for suicide prevention. This will be a national number where if you're feeling down and you're feeling like this is something you want to do, you can call this number and be connected with a counselor to help you. Very similar to some of the other 3-digit numbers like 911, 988 will be here to support you in time of mental health crisis, which is something I think is amazing. Something we may have done very well as a country has been mental health. I love to see some more attention brought to it. So let me know, would you support the creation of a 988 national suicide prevention phone number? I'd love to hear from you. All right. Are you a Starbucks fan? Do you love these Impossible burgers and meals? These Impossible sandwiches, which are meat sandwiches that are actually made out of vegetables, are now coming to Starbucks. So Starbucks is launching an Impossible breakfast sandwich, which is got the taste of meat, the look of meat, but is made out of vegetables. Now, I've heard mixed things about how much better these are for you. Some people have said, hey, these are great ways to eat healthier. I've heard other people say they're really not that much healthier, but they do allow you to have a vegetarian meal there. So let me know, are you a fan of the Impossible meals? I think Burger King kind of really got the Impossible thing going with the Impossible Whopper. That got a lot of attention. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I've been indifferent on them personally, but I'd love to know if you like them, if you don't like them, why. Let me know. All right, bad news if you don't like a hot summer, good news if you do. The forecast is out and most of the United States is going to be above normal for temperatures. So good news if you like a long hot summer. They predict that these above average temperatures will continue through September, allow you to enjoy a nice long, hopefully summer. But let me know if you are looking forward to the heat, or if you're already done with the heat, ready for winter. I'd love to hear from you. Now, in this week in history, one important thing happened in 1997. Maybe it's not so important, but kind of interesting. The U.S. Air Force released a 231-page report on Roswell, looking at the reported UFO landings and UFO reports that there were little green men, that aircraft crashed there, and more. And that report was made to answer the questions once and for all. And of course, it didn't. If you believe in what they do, great. But a lot of people still don't. All right, that's it for today. I'd love to know what you think of the show, of the slightly faster, more story method of doing it. Can't wait till we get this new backdrop in. But I'm also going to try to be dropping in, hopefully it works, video clips of the different stories and different images here as we do this. Let me know what you think of it. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope you all stay safe, be happy, hopefully get out there and do something fun, but be safe out there. Thank you for your support. I'll be back next week as we hopefully get this finished up this weekend. Take care, everybody.